Peace, peace, peace. All. I don't know if I can be heard. I'm trying to stall out for my brother, but we, as they say, the show must go on. Can you hear me? Shalom, Sister Kashia. Peace to the Chief. How is everybody doing this fine evening? I don't know if can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes or no? Somebody let me know, please. Perfect. Thank you kindly. All right, cool. Well, yeah, we're gonna vibe off of family structure. I know we've been here for a little bit because it's kind of serious, kind of it's a big deal. Peace, MGC. What it do? Peace to the top tier speakers, Emma. Peace, Master Antonio. What's up? Good sister Deidre. Howdy do. Peace, Sister Stacy Duke. In the building. All right. Peace to you. And peace to all those who will be coming in and joining whenever that may be. All right. So, first and foremost, we like to give honor to the Most High, and a special shout out to Chief. Put his time, energy, and effort into putting this work together. Of course, we're going to start off with the preface. This book is not to be read only once. Read the words of this book of knowledge and wisdom out loud. Discuss the convictions of this work with your Anu brothers and sisters. Share this information with your people. This publication should be read daily. Every line in this book can be taken out of context and studied on its own strength, of its own potential. The truth is to be deliberated. Yeah, me. All right, what you got? Hey, man, we're doing all this family talk. What does it mean when the Bible says that the marriage bed undefiled? What does it mean when the Bible says the marriage bed is undefiled? That you shouldn't bust it open. Hey. Yeah. I'll order the 2 for 1 special. Where's the partner in rhyme? That's a great question. Fashionably late, I guess. I don't know. But yeah. So we'll go ahead and start off from the family structure. Let me go ahead and roll on over to it. Bam. All right. So there may be times that a young man will come under the presidency of a family in order to be trained by an elder man. Now, this is significant because ultimately, a lot of times you might hear somebody say, man up, right? And I know that's something that we used to say back in the day. Is like, and still now, it's like, man up, man. But what does that really mean when you tell somebody to man up? Are you telling them to not be a punk? You telling them to, what is actually being said in that? But what one can really extract from that is there's more to it of being a man than just having the genitalia that will classify you as a male. Let me see something. All right. Hold on. He said he's backstage. There we go. There he goes, everybody. The man that was supposed to be here with me 5 minutes ago.
I was waiting.
Yeah. Like that I was late for because I was waiting.
Yeah, I was waiting. Like, Zach, I'm here. I'm right here.
Yeah, you were waiting.
Yes, I was waiting.
Oh,
but yeah, I should have been. I went here the whole time. But
oh, okay. All right. I like how you worded that right there.
Like I can't like I am running like okay, woo, let me get my breath. Okay. Then I see you like, oh, he passed to the next level. I'm like, oh, Zach, I'm right here.
Oh man. All right. Well, welcome. Hello.
Hey, what's up, bro?
It's a pleasure to have you in this space.
You too, bro. You too.
Oh man. All right. So we are on family structure, and I was just talking about the first line. There may be times that a young man will come under the presidency of a family in order to be trained by an elder man. And one of the things that I was just speaking about is when you tell somebody to man up, which is something that is said like back then, and you can still say it now, is it would imply that almost that there is more to being a man than just having the genitalia. And where is one now learning that about being a man if somebody is saying something as such? So what are your thoughts on that first line?
Well, I think that, learning, about that it's hard in today's society or in dominant society because you don't know who you're learning from, for one. And you don't even know if they have the accomplishments or the rites of passage of a man. You just think just because they grown or they're taller than you or lived a couple of years on the earth longer than you that, they're a man because, the dominant society says that they are. We don't require much in that arena besides genitalia and basically age and experience. I'll just say it like that. So it's it's like a crap game and you're rolling snake eyes, bro. Like, I mean, that's what I think.
And even in this passage where it says the family ordered, there may be times when a young man will be under the presidency of a family in order to be trained by an elder man. And even when you just said that, it's just like there's a difference between elder and older, right? And just because, and a lot of times people do look at somebody in the sense of, oh, because they're 30 or, because they're 5 or 10 years my senior, then ultimately they should, and yes, they should have something to hand over to you. But just because somebody is older does not make them an elder, right? Because now it doesn't mean that somebody is going to have anything of nutritional value to hand over to you or to pour into you that you can now start to even, hold and homestead down, of have your business affairs in order, as opposed to when somebody's like, this is what we do. We just gonna hustle. We gonna get this money. And that's what it's all about, man. Money over everything. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be, just teaching somebody, like, you can even have a crew in a sense, and somebody's older in the crew. And now you're like, yeah, this is my family. And, family, we look out for one another and we rob together and we do all of this. But you're coming under the teaching and tutelage of somebody, even if you're not in a homestead, or if you feel like you're not in a gang, or you're not in a crew, or you're not in any of those things, you still are learning from somebody. So now it's a sense of, do you still learn from somebody else's mistakes, or do you want to keep repeating the same mistakes and that old sense of insanity again of repeating the same mistakes but then expecting a different result, but you're doing the same thing that somebody else could have easily told you, you know what, there's a pothole up there, you might want to go right when you should go, when you went left, or look out for this. I mean, mistakes are going to happen, but I think the whole thing about it is to make new mistakes and not keep repeating the same mistakes over and over again.
Yeah, I agree with you. Because when you know better, you do better, and all of that is a cycle of dysfunction because there's no, I would say, right action, and there's no. I'm not about to go. There's no correction because you may be having familiar experience with other guys, but that don't mean that soon as somebody try to correct you, you get in your feelings, or you get emotional, or they give you some direction, and then sometimes what do you go with? You ain't my daddy or something like that, I'm grown,
Right.
you can't tell me nothing, you know what I'm saying? You can't tell me
I'm grown.
I'm grown, son. It's grown. Well, we go. It's a grown man right here. It's a grown man right here. But yeah, but that doesn't show manhood. That just shows that you're a grown, I don't want to say animal, but a grown man child or a grown male child. You know what I'm saying? You could maybe when it comes to manhood, rites of passage, and things like that. It's like a brotherhood, maybe a threshold that you walk over, and that you're recognized as. What I'm saying? You don't call yourself a man just because you got genitalia and you're a certain age. Other men in your community recognize you as such, and they and things like that. They acknowledge you as such. So I mean, like I said, it's just a lot of dysfunction, and it just shows, Willie Lynchism at its finest, I guess you could call it. You know what I'm talking about? Where we're in search of manhood, but we don't know what it is. We don't know what it looks like, or we don't even know probably what it really means to us. And do we really want to be that? And are we willing to walk that walk to be it? Are we willing to sacrifice for it? Are we willing to submit to it? You know what I'm saying? And all that it comes with. So I would say it like that, bro. You know what I'm talking about?
And I think even when you were saying, like, what do we really know what that is? What ultimately one would find in a sense of a community. Like, that community is going to define what that is, which, like it says, there may be times when a young man will come under the presidency of a family, because that family is going to start to now pour into and cultivate that young man's mind, where it's like, okay, now this is what we do. This is how we protect our own. This is how we sacrifice for our own, right? As far as not just going and feel like you sacrificing for a block, right? Like, this is my hood, and in my hood, I'm gonna die for mine. I'll go all out for mine. I'm 305, or I'm 30, whatever the case may be.
Oh,
right?
Clip, that's my hood. Yeah,
Right.
in this space, get that. Okay.
All right. And you don't own anything in the hood, right? But now it takes somebody to sit you down, like, hold on, man, let's start to get you some acres. Let's start to look at getting your own stuff where you're gonna really defend something that belongs to you, as opposed to you just trying to be king of the anthill or king of the rat trap or whatever the case may be. So if one is only going to learn that, though, from okay, let me figure out, or let me sit down, and because I don't know everything, let me learn from somebody further along. So we'll go on and read. It says, an apprenticing young man may become a son of the homestead. So again, when you become son of the homestead, right now it's like, all right, I'm gonna give you all these gems that I have. I'm gonna just hand them over to you, and I'm gonna make sure that you solid, that you're good, and that ultimately you start to learn the difference between a smart man and a genius. See, a smart man will learn from his mistakes. A genius will learn from some other people's mistakes. Learn from my mistakes so you don't have to do those mistakes anymore. So you can start to be further along the path, as opposed to then that, that wheel that just keeps, that cyclical cycle that one just keeps chasing their own tail. But again, once you come under that homestead, you're going to start to learn the finer details of things, as opposed to even like standing on the outside. I would say even that's a whole lot different than somebody saying that, and you don't really see the inner workings, but you're outside of the building and somebody's trying to tell you how the inside of the building works. Like, okay, there's stores over here, and inside the store there's a business, and this is how the business is ran. And you standing there trying to take it all in. But if I bring you inside, now you're going to get a whole different, now you're going to put actions to words, and now you're going to see it, and it's going to start to take a whole different life to it. So what do you think, brother?
I think that basically, as you apprentice someone and he becomes the son of the homestead, you're actually adopting them. And it, that takes on a totally, great responsibility. You're basically accepting a new family member. And not only are you teaching him the ways of the homestead, you're also teaching them the family structure, the family culture, so that they can adopt it as their own. So I think it's of great importance, when apprenticing like that, and like you were talking about, whereas, people will rep a block or something like that. Here, you are the representation of a homestead, and how you act or react or carry yourself out into that environment reflects on that homestead. So now you sort of have something to represent that is physical, and also you could also say land-based. If we're talking about homestead, you're also representing the land in which you're apprenticing on, because they're landowners. So I would say, that's a great responsibility, and on both sides, because you don't want to let them down, and they don't want to let you down. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I can't even imagine, bro. All that goes into it. You know what I'm talking about? But it calls to action the community. You know what I'm saying? And the worth of, that elder man, that he's able to apprentice, a youth under him, or maybe multiple youths under him. You know what I'm saying? That shows the value of his leadership and direction.
And I'm gonna pull this out. Abba MGC says the secular society standards are so low that most of us have not been trained how to properly respond to situations that occur on our journey. So mostly the result is a dysfunctional default. And usually what I see is that dysfunctional default is, which I'm going to say, toxic masculinity, where now all of a sudden I'm so tough though, right? It becomes that it's very feminine, where you even step on my shoe, you look at me the wrong way. If somebody just says anything, ooh, I'm about to go off, son. Like, I'm about to just cave his chest in. I'm about to do all of this. It's like, what? This is a waste of time. Like, oh nah, he disrespected me. He disrespected me. And now it's like you very feminine response to now you got to show somebody that you just so tough. But if you got to show somebody and you got to keep now claiming how tough you are you really that tough? Are you really that tough? It takes a lot of control and restraint to restrain oneself. But again, you're gonna learn that from, even if you fight, you're already breaking somebody down before you even get to the fight, and you're very calm and relaxed. It's not no, look, man, and you try to diffuse it. Like, look, I don't want no problems, man. Like, look, I apologize again, because you already know somebody got something in here. But now for a worldly view, it's gonna start telling you, nah, you can't be no punk. You can't go out like no punk. So if I ain't going out like no punk, then what you say? Oh, Cliff, that's on my hood, G. Like, I'm finna put it down, and I'm gonna tell y'all what we about when you come around here. And again, and then how does it go? That dysfunction. And then it's almost like a sense in the Matrix when my man is like, he wants to get out of the car when they're sucking that little bot out of him, which ultimately people are, I mean, in order for you look around and people to be like the great Amos Wilson said, for people to be in the condition they are in, they have to be out of their mind. So they got there's a dis-ease inside of them that now one wants to suck out, but then it's like, hold on, I don't want to go down that road. And then they open the door and then it's a straight path, but you know where this goes. You're going to be in jail. You're going to be locked up. You're going to have 15 baby mamas. You're going to have all of this other stuff. Or you're going to be swimming in debt, but you're not really building anything, but you're talking about we're going to start doing something and leading down the road of dysfunction, as opposed to, you know what, nah, let me actually sit under, let me go learn from Morpheus. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go learn from Morpheus. And as Chief has pointed out many times, I'm not going to say not many words that he spoke throughout the whole movie, but he was just soaking it in in order for him to get along.
Yeah, I would also say, look, we talking about movies. Harlem Nights, right? Harlem Nights. You know, when Jasmine Guy was about to clip, you know, quick and whatnot, and he's, you know, it's like, this is personal, and you know, he goes over to, you know, Richard Pryor house and was like, yo, he tried twice tonight to kill me, you know. He's like, I ain't no punk, sugar, you kill me, I'm gonna kill you. He was like, and Richard Pryor was like, hey, sit the F down, man. He'd be like, look, what's gonna be on your tombstone? You know, here lies a man, 27 years old. He died, but he ain't no punk. You know, I ain't about to let you. That ain't cool, man. That ain't cool. I ain't about to let you do that to yourself. I ain't about to let you do it to me. You know. So, in that sense, you have, you know, an elder man that basically had, you know, his apprentice under him. Like, no, man, that ain't what we gonna do. He was like, look, quick, you're not a gangster. You're not. You know. We're club owners, you know, we on the dance hall, you know, but Calhoun, he's a cold-hearted killer, and he'll have you killed, you know. So it's the same thing where you had, you know, or at least the same example, you know what I'm saying, where you have that emotionalism out of the younger man or the junior, and then you have that elder man, you know, reeling them in like, sit down. You're not. Let me tell you how this is going to go. This is what you're going to do. You know, you're not going to do that. You know, I'm gonna reel you back in. You know, and this is how it's going to go. You know. So yeah, man. Sometimes, you know, when you want to pop up at the mouth, you know, you like, I'm grown. And then you got Unc raise up, and he look at you and be like, sit your. And then you be like, you know.
Yeah. But again, that's one who, when you raise up, though, you see that goes back to that piece of vision. And one is not weighing the outcomes of what they're doing in the moment as opposed to their long-term goals. And they may not even have no long-term goals. They may not even know what that is. So if one starts to look at that long-term goal and start to work backwards, they're going to start to weigh these decisions and saying, hold on, man, this is probably not the best thing for me to get myself into. This is probably not the best place that I should be in right now, because I know it's probably going to bring out the worst in me. And if I'm trying to get from here to here, then I know that's not going to get me here. It's only going to get me somewhere else. But then it's going to take somebody like, hold on, man, you know, we business owners, right? Like we got a lot to do. We got a family. You have a family, right? Well, who's gonna raise this family if you get locked up for trying to show somebody that you just ain't no punk, that you just a tough guy? Like hold on. If this is what's in place, then keep your eyes on the vision, and that vision is gonna get you to where you need to be. Not this old fake, you know, man beating your chest like I'm grown and let me show this other dude how much I'm grown. Because now you're going to get yourself in trouble. You're going to get the people who are with you in trouble. You're putting everybody in a situation that they don't need to be in. If you just think, don't let your emotions get so the best of you, and really just think and use your head so that therefore you can control your emotions and master the energy around you.
Look, look, Boys in the Hood, right? Ricky dead. And yeah. And homie, Ricky! and you look, and what Lawrence Fishburne say, Furious say, you know, I'm sorry about your friend. I feel bad for his family, but you my son, you my problem. You know, give me the gun. Oh, you bad now. You want to end up like little Chris, you know, in a wheelchair. You want to end up like Doughboy, you know, and then what? He goes out with his friends, but then as they about to ride, he's like, let me out, man. And they let him out. You know, he go back home. You know, he sees his father. His father see him. What? His father just close the door. He don't say nothing else. Just, you know, because after that, there's no more to say. But yeah, you know, when you are a part of something, I would say bigger than yourself, part of a bloodline, a lineage, you know, you have, I would say, more representation to uphold, you know, than something fictional and full of fantasy that was never yours to begin with, you know. Yeah, but notice how real Trey was. You know, he knew his land. Exactly, for sure, Chief. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I would say, you know, when you have pride in that lineage and in that bloodline, you stop doing stupid stuff because you don't want it to get back to them, because you know they gonna have, you know, you make them look bad. You know, you made not just yourself, but all of us look bad. And you're not about to shame our teachings. You know, like you said, you know how to master the energy around you. You ain't gonna shame the master. You'll get wiser when you have that respect. You be like, man, I ain't gonna do that. Why? Because I'll make him look bad, you know. And he, you know, I uphold, you know, his teachings or his direction so much. I ain't about to do that dumb stuff, you know, something like that. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah.
Just what you said made me think of, because I've been on this Game of Thrones heavy, right? So Theon Greyjoy, when he was like, oh, I'm gonna go out and conquer, like, I didn't tell you to do that, man. Give me some more shit. I ain't asked you to do that. But again, he's so caught up, and I'm trying to prove myself, as opposed to looking at the grand scheme of things, that you put everybody else in danger, though, when you start doing that. Like, everybody else now has to sacrifice in order to now fix what one has done. If they don't start to just learn, let me just be an apprentice. What it says in here, let me learn from who is ahead of me, who is further along the path, so I can go ahead and start to move and groove. Go back to these comments. Peace, free game. See in there, how you living? Peace, RS. All right. Real street. Real simple. Real, I don't know. All right. Chief says, toxic gender expression on both sides. Toxic femininity is often what you see in a sick male. and toxic masculinity plagues Americanized females. I'm glad you said that because I know sometimes people, if you say toxic masculinity, see, that's people get the pom-poms. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Nah, it's on both sides. Again, no, we just addressing the men in this one, but nonetheless, yeah. Toxic masculinity plagues Americanized females. From yeah.
They don't want to hear that. Boom. Yes. Yes, you.
Who you talking to?
Who you talking to?
I did what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? If there wasn't nobody else around, I had to fend for myself. I had to do this for myself. You don't know what you talking about. Yeah. All right. Master Antonio says, answer the chief's question. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled, but whoremongers and adulterers God will judge. This verse was speaking about honoring one's bonds. The marriage bed was the place where the covenant was made, but the people who made the covenant with one another are the ones who will be judged when that bond is violated. Right? We get MGC, Chief Advisor, Strength is Restrained. All right. I'm going to go back to the reading. What does it say? Notice how real Trey was when he knew his land. I think that's back to, I'm behind y'all, so yeah, we're just going to roll with it. I think that's the Boys in the Hood. What does a young warrior do to gauge that what makes a good guide and model? What does a young warrior do to gauge that what makes a good guide and model? What you got, Brother Lowe?
Well, I would say you observe their actions, their deeds are on what they do, not just by what they say. Like, I want to say this. Okay, like I just like when I basically chose to follow my Baba around like a college. I was already had an advisor and whatnot. But homie wasn't moving like he was supposed to be moving. But I saw this guy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody told him to stay away from him. Don't take his class. You gonna fail his class or whatever. But I saw this guy. Upstanding. Tall Seminole guy, and what I'm talking about. And everything he was talking about, or everything he was saying, he was saying it not just for to hear himself talk. He would say things that you really needed to hear. And then how funky academia professors can be, or just how shiesty they can be. I also saw how he never took advantage of the women, because they will throw you. But he never did that. He always, guided them and advised them to, do what they need to do and get on. Get the HR, but get on, right? But I would say, you see how they carry themselves. You see if they do have good character. Like, I never heard nothing bad about. I heard bad about a bunch of dang on teachers. I was like, whoa, wow, let me stay away from this dude, But I never heard nothing bad about him. Only thing I heard bad about him was how hard his class was. You know what I'm talking about? So that's why I was like, and then I was, one day I just talked to him, and he opened my mind to some things, and I was like, huh. Yeah, I never thought about that before. And then I just kept on coming back. You know what I'm talking about? And, I would say, you can't judge by it, that gauge of a person. You have to see what's in them and not what's on them as well. You know what I'm talking about? Because anybody can act like they're a guru or things like that, but what's in them? You know what I'm saying? and things like that. Um, I'm reaching. Some killers say they kill, then show you they kill. Does that qualify for them for leadership? Um, hey, I mean, just because hey, if you get it, if you get it, if because some people talk about it and they don't do it. You know what I'm saying? But if they do it, you know what I'm saying? I ain't telling you, but what are we talking about? Are we talking about killing, or are we talking about murder? There's a difference. You know what I'm talking about. I would also say that, now we talking about that, what warriors do, then yeah, because that is an art form. Even Shaka said that, a person who that can wield life and death on the battlefield must be an artist. If not, he's just a murderer. you know. But I say it was like you have a lot of guys that probably look up to their football coach, but you don't know how their lives are. You know what I'm saying? Behind the scenes, you really have to see how they are with their families, how they are with their own children. Uh, how their own kids look at them. You know what I'm talking about?
I would even venture to say that one could look at one. You should be like a threefold, like thought, speech, and action. They should all be in alignment. And if those things are not in alignment, then you're dealing with some faulty stuff. It's very easy to sit in front of this computer and the camera like we should bang on so and so. We're gonna go over there and we should just give it to them, all of them. It's very easy to do that, right? But if somebody is controlled in their emotions and the thought, no, you know what? I know there's people that's going to be listening to this. I'm not going to get people riled up. I'm not going to get them, but you know what? I'm going to. This is what we're going to start doing, right? And if somebody is doing thought, speech, and action, and you start walking closer to it, you're going to get closer. I think even the Chiefs spoke about it. You're going to get closer to that light, and that light is going to start to. It's going to be bright. It's bright now because you're going to have to start putting in work. Like it's gonna it's just not you sitting here and admiring what somebody else is gonna do. The only way that you even like if you're gonna learn something, the best way to learn it is to teach it. So now you're gonna have to start teaching. Okay, well let me see how the best way that I can teach that. Some people are gonna fall off. Oh, you know what? I'm not gonna be able to make it tonight. I'm not gonna be able to do this. Nah, man, let me show you how men move. In thought, speech, and action, I'm gonna show you how we move. And if it's not in alignment, even in the sense of, and they're not going to be telling you how many boys they have saved and how many black people, and y'all pray for me. And it's all for me. Oh, Shun, you look out for me. And when they start talking about all of this stuff like this, and you know what? You dealing with some faulty, the dysfunctional fools who are ultimately going in the direction that you don't need to be going in. It's not all about that, man. And it's very easy to get caught up into some effeminized males who are very smart, very articulate, but they're not moving like a man, right? It's thought, speech, and action. They all have to be in alignment. And if they're not in alignment, then you want to start to reconsider and make sure you look at that character. And even like you said, once you start to get even closer to them, you're going to see that, this is in alignment with everything that they talk about. This is what they're doing.
Yeah, I will also say like you said, like people, you have people that tell you to do this or break some statue, by the dominant society, but they ain't gonna be, at your court hearing or whatever, right beside you, but but you listen to them and they got you into this mess. You know what I'm saying? You gotta look who's gonna be in your corner or who I hate to or who got bail money for you, or who got money on your books, you gonna know who in your corner and then who you ain't, when you down for the count, what I'm talking about. You gonna see, who really who really covers you, you know what I'm saying? If that apprenticeship covers you. You know, even if you make one mistake and they stand behind you and cover you like that, man. Like, you know, you still a good brother after that. Even if you made this one mistake, I'm still standing behind you or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? So, I mean, like you say, it's thought, speech, and actions. And some people got the speech, but you know, they don't got the thought. Some got the thought, but they don't got the speech. And a lot don't even got the dang on action. So let's not even go there. You know what I'm talking about? We know they ain't got the action. You know, but yeah, they move like females. Cause then you see how they get down, and then you know, sometimes, you know, they even how they argue like, you know, real emotional, like, you know, hood females do. You know, you be like, you know, are we at a street fight? You know, is it 3 o'clock? You know, it's 3 o'clock. You know.
Hold on, I got a question for you.
Okay.
For you. What do you mean by if they don't put money on your book? So if somebody doesn't stand behind somebody in jail, does that not make them, or locked up? Does that not make them?
No, I'm not saying something like that. I'm just saying, you know, they put money on your books because they care. Or maybe that was the wrong example. Like, okay, like when I was, you know, in Afghanistan, the nicest thing somebody did for me that nobody in my own family did, you know, was send me a dang on care package. I thought that was the nicest thing anybody could, you know. Here I am stretching out, and I don't get nothing, and somebody send me a care package. Oh, I was touched, you know, and it was like, man, you know who with you and who ain't, you know. So that's what I mean by, look, you know, if you know, do big, you know who with you and who ain't, you know who put money on your books and who ain't. That don't mean it's coming from an egoic sense. It's just like, I know who cares for me and who don't. Those that don't care for me. Or you could just say, who wrote me a letter? Did you write me a letter? Okay. You send me a picture? You know, let's just go there. You ain't got any money. Let's just go.
I'm like, hold on now. You know what I mean? I got a fun criminal activity, and I'm not.
I ain't saying fun criminal activity.
I'm not saying, because I know some people.
Let's just say a letter. The nicest thing you can send somebody is a letter. But you know, people don't write letters.
Okay.
Anymore.
I've been thinking.
So that's what I say about it.
You know. No, I've been thinking about you. You know, no. Okay. All right. Oh, no. All right. RS stands for Raheem. If that's the same one, peace, brother. If that's the same one that I'm thinking about, if not, my apologies. This is why, and she says, this is why I rarely take personal students into my fold. Most can't be close to solar light. They do better with weekend moon glow that they can twist. So. Twist like
I don't want to do it, but moon glow and just are we, you know.
Yeah. Even somebody just being direct, like, you effed up, and this is what you effed up. Whoa, I feel attacked. I feel like I'm a victim. Nah, man, you gotta lose all of that again. I would rather have the weekend move. I gotta put some pink boxing gloves on, stroke your email. You did your female ego. You did this great. You did, you know what, and you're doing this great. You know, and I want to just say that you're doing a great job, but have you ever thought about something like this? See, you know, because you if you would have just told it to me in a different way, then I could have received it better. But since you said it like that, then, man, look, sometimes somebody's going to hand you a gem in a dirty rag. Here, take this, right? But if you want it, if you're thirsty for it and you got a hunger for it, you're going to take it and say, thank you, man. Let's keep going. Because I know this is not just about me. This is about the greater collective. And the greater collective, if I'm going to sacrifice myself for the greater collective, well, then now I know there can't be no weak males around. There can't be no weak chumps that's standing in and be like, oh, yeah, this your man's? Is this your man's? Oh, nah, man.
That's your man's. That's your man's.
Yeah, nah. So, yeah, I mean, is what it is. Free game. Says, I'm not a part of a new global ministries, and I never had a real male leader in my life, but I'm thankful for you in conversations like this for leadership. Yeah, I mean, because if something is not there, it's like, where are you getting it from? Where are you learning it from? That outside energy that you're gonna start bringing in, and it's not gonna take you anywhere. But you already know. You've been down that road. You see where this road ends. Are you ready to go in a different direction, or are you gonna keep just chasing your tail again? She says some killers say they killed, then show you they killed. Does that qualify them for leadership? I think. Did you answer that already? I think you did.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. All right. It says, I'm very thankful. That is who I think it is. Ain't got no jump shot.
Radio right.
Man,
I mean, no brothers on the wall
down there. All very thankful to all the effort and strength that is shown in all the videos I've watched. Word. MGC says the answer, Chief, a young warrior may want to study the laws, perform the work specified in the new foundations of how great men live. Surround oneself with other men who value a connection with the Most High. You know, and that goes back to what Sister Moksha was talking about last time she was on, and just being around certain people that will start rubbing off on you. I don't care. Show me your friends. I'm going to show you your future. Show me the people that you hang around. That's the people that you're going to become. And there was a comment that Chief had left in the comment section where he was like, if I'm a business person and I'm hanging around somebody who doesn't balance, you know, their own money and is an idiot and doing things like, am I going to start to achieve my goals, or is that going to start rubbing off on me? And ultimately, people around you are going to be a hindrance. Either they're going to be in the boat and they're going to help row, or they're just dead weight. And if dead weight is in the boat, they're going to prevent you from getting to your destination, or you're going to wear yourself out. And now it's like, okay, now what we going to do? And you're going to be in the same situation. Now it's easier for you to revert back to, well, come on, man, let's just smoke then. Let's just drink. Hey, you ain't got no job, right, Craig? Well, let's get high today, man. Like, you ain't doing nothing. If you keep that
hey, yo, it's Friday today. You ain't got no money. You ain't got no job. You ain't got... Oh.
Come on. But if you keep that around you, it's going to keep pulling you back into something that you're trying to get out. Like, nah, man, that's not where I'm going. And guess what? I can't hang around this. So I have to start moving around, man. It's not, it's, with all due respect, I have no respect, man. I'm out of here, man. Because I don't see the light in any of this. I don't see that. That's the Michael Blackson said that. What is this? Says, be thankful for any type of light I'm given to help me progress forward in my plans. Hey, certain people got a hunger for it. Certain people, they don't respect what's right in front of them. Chief says millions follow Pac and 50 because Pac. I'm sorry, hey, Pac. That y'all young fools listening to all that garbage. Pac and Tupac. 50 because they showed you the bullet scars. Where were they taking them to? The grave. Straight to the grave. And it's interesting because if you glorify it and you sit up here and talk about how much you do this and how much you do that, and yeah, because I'm a real NIGGA. And this is what it is to be a real, I got shot 9 times. I'm still breathing. I'm still here. What were you doing? Like, why were you in a position, in a situation where somebody is now shooting at you 9 times? Like, you know what? This is what happens. Why don't you say, this is what happens when you start doing dumb stuff? You put yourself in this position where you can possibly lose your life, right? So now, because I almost lost my life, I'm going to glorify it, and I'm going to show you how to lose your life. And when you almost lose your life, or if you lose it because you got to sit down behind bars or whatever the case may be, now, where they at now? You still bumping it? Or you going to get your pen and pad out and you going to start writing, making your beats on your chest, and all this other stuff? And now you got rhymes and lyrics of what it's like behind bars. And then that's when you start to find, let me stop. I don't know. I've never been, so I don't want to start. Yeah, but come on. Tonio says you had responded to a similar question by saying that elder had to be filled with the spirit of the Most High. He has to be obedient to the law, not just someone who talks the talk. All right. Says, can I find a teacher if I haven't cultivated the student in me? That's that Al Nur.
We go with that Al Nur. That Al Nur. Oh yeah, oh man, that's that Al Nur. You know.
You know what that is, dog.
You know what that
What that is. Yeah, I mean, if you no, you're gonna be taken advantage of is what's about to happen. Because you're not gonna decide. You're gonna be like, nah, this person. You so hungry for looking for something that fits what you think it should be, as opposed to saying, you know what, I'm hungry for information, and you putting everything together. Then you're gonna be like, this person ain't living up to what they saying. Or as opposed to just coming in and then being like, well, let me just look over here and look over here. I got 1 foot in, I got 1 foot out. Well, then you're gonna fall for the flim flam. You're gonna fall for it, and you're gonna get got because you're not really serious about cultivating your own journey. You're not really serious about it. Because you're not serious about it, well, then there's a bunch of people that's gonna stand up to the podium and be able to beguile you down a direction that's going to either, and then all of a sudden you're going to become a victim after that. Well, I've been taken advantage of, and all of this stuff has happened to me, so that's why I don't commit. That's why I don't go down this way, or whatever the case may be. Yada yada yada. So I'm gonna say no.
Well,
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, I mean, if that teacher is charitable and sees the student in you before you can see the student yourself, then I guess. But if you haven't cultivated the student in you, it sort of goes with not cultivating or putting into action the potential in yourself. So why would they appear if? Because you may waste their time. You may waste their time. You know what I'm saying? If you have not shown that you are a diligent and hardworking student, they'll just pass you by. I will also say it like that. So I was trying to see, the other side to it, but that's if that person is charitable, and they may be like, oh, I may have like over 500 that wanted to be under my tutelage or whatever, and they was just trash. So I ain't for the mess. My time's valuable, So I just thought about that. That's all.
I don't know what just happened. My phone rang and I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can't hear you.
I can hear you.
Hey, I know. I can see you say you hear me. All I see is your lips moving, though. I'm reading your lips right now.
Let me see how. Say something. I can't. You gotta say something real quick.
Something.
Oh shoot. All right, I'm just gonna keep talking. I'm gonna try and make out what you say because it's either gonna make me end this whole thing, or I don't know. Toxic feminism, definitely not womanhood. I think I might have screwed that up and said womanhood. Thank you for that. And I'm gonna put this up here to make sure everybody can see the correction. That's Antonio says, true chief, you may encounter someone with the spirit, but you won't be able to tell what you are looking at and appreciate. Yeah, if I go to the Bing for something we all say we stand for, put something in my commissary, I get it.
Because commissary is so very necessary.
All right.
All
right. I can't, man. If I end this and come back in here, will that work?
I don't know. I want to say, Chief said you can exit the studio too. He said you can exit the studio and come.
Where is it at?
Probably don't quit the live, but just leave the studio. Okay, that stops your cam.
Say something. You're on mute, brother. I can see the microphone.
Something.
Oh my gosh. No, I still can't hear you.
Some.
You can exit the studio too. Let me see something. Settings. Audio. Can you hear? Can you say something?
Something.
Oh gosh. Yeah, it ain't working. Exit the studio. I'm gonna see if I can exit. I'm gonna end it and then try to bring it back. That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how this is about to work. All right.
It's all right.
That's
It's
about
all
to
right.
happen.
They here for it.
Here, I'm gonna hand it to you. I'm gonna try and work this out.
Okay, no problem. Well, while he's doing that, we gonna get to the next part. Well, first, let's make sure that
Exit
we've
the
covered
studio. Come back.
Everything.
Only thing it's telling me to do is end the broadcast.
Don't quit. Okay. How about this? I'll leave.
Hey.
Would that help you?